sure you have no idea all the fun things that you can do with styrofoam to create your Christmas decor. And I bet at the end of this video, I'm gonna have you running to Dollar Tree to pick up all of the different sizes and shape of styrofoam that they carry. Hello and welcome. My name is Jennifer, and this is a little bit of Common Crazy, where I love sharing easy DIYs and budget decor. Today I'm so excited because I'm taking part in Christmas in July, which is put together by Shannon over at The Daily DIYer or The Cozy Christmas Cottage. If you love Christmas as much as I do, you need to make sure you check out her second channel, The Cozy Christmas Cottage, because it is full of Christmas gems. What Shannon has done is gather a group of us, and we have so many fun Christmas ideas for you, so make sure you check out that playlist so you don't miss anyone's videos. Now let's get into all these styrofoam ideas. For this project, you want to grab some of these smaller styrofoam balls. They come in a pack of 6, and then you are going to also get some fabric. I really like the peppermint fabric because we are making little candies. For each candy, you're gonna need a 5x6 piece of fabric. Now you can do as many of these as you want. It all depends on how many you want, and if you're gonna do a garland, the length of the garland that you want. Now I do use a little bit of hot glue to hold it in place as I'm wrapping it up. And then to secure this closed, I just take some twine on each end, I wrap it around a few times, and then tie it off into a knot. Not only did I do some peppermint ones, I also did some in a solid red as well. Now you absolutely can just leave them like this, but if you want to make a garland, you're going to need a really large needle, and Dollar Tree does carry a little pack of needles that you can get. So you're going to grab this larger one, and you are going to thread this through the center of each of the candies. Now I like to use something to protect my finger as I'm pushing it through. Now it might take a couple of times to get it straight in that center, but once you get it through, I like to use a pair of pliers to help me get it out on the other side. I chose to alternate my candies, but you can do whatever you want and create your garland as long as you want it. I think it makes the most adorable garland, whether you're going to put this on a Christmas tree and string it all the way around, or if you would like to hang this up on a fireplace mantle, wherever it goes. I just think it is such a cute and easy project to do. For this project, you will be using these round styrofoam pieces. They come 2 to a pack. To start off with, you are going to give them a base coat of some white paint. Because it's porous, it is going to soak up a little bit more paint than something that wasn't porous, but trust me, the base coat, you definitely don't want to skip it. While you're at it, go ahead and paint 2 dowel sticks white as well. Once the white is dried, you're going to take a little round foam brush and just pop a circle center. If you want to hand circle it, you can as well. And then you're going to take your paintbrush and you're going to start drawing little curved lines. You're going to do 2 on one side and then directly across it, do it on the other side. And then you are going to fill it in on the top and the bottom. Can you see where we're going? We are creating some peppermint candies. Once you've created all your curved V's, then you can go in and fill in the areas that you want with your red paint, leaving every other area completely white. You also don't want to forget to paint in the sides and have it carry over. That really completes the look. Dollar Tree has these really cute scalloped containers that are perfect to put our little peppermint lollipops in. So grab one of these or any container that you like. You're going to start off by placing some tissue paper to line it. Then you're going to grab one of these cube white foams and you're going to stick it right into the center. Pop in your little lollipops, and then you're going to take another piece of tissue paper, cut it in half, and then use those to cover up the rest of the foam. We don't want to see that foam. And there you have the cutest little peppermint lollipops. Absolutely love this. Now you could also use these in your tree as like little picks. Just darling, no matter what you choose to do with them. For this project, you are going to use one of Dollar Tree's styrofoam cones as well as one of these green styrofoam pieces. Honestly, I don't know what you call this shape, but make sure that you grab it. You're going to take a little hot glue and you are going to combine the 2 styrofoam pieces together. For the next step, you are going to need a mop. So go ahead and pick one of those up, but before you do anything, cut that mop apart, and then I like to take a pencil and then draw a line around to help give me a guide. Then you're going to use some hot glue to secure your little mop strands right onto the cone. Can you see where we're going with this? Yes, we are gonna create a gnome for all you gnome-loving people out there. Once you've gone around your first time, you are gonna go around for a second layer. After that, you are going to take each strand and you are going to split it apart because there are actually 4 strands or strings in each of those mop strands, and so you want to split them each apart. Now, even after you do that, you can still see that green foam sticking through. So take some fabric. I just picked this up at Dollar Tree. I cut a piece off and I just hot glued it first to the bottom, and then in order to have it look good on the top, I did create little pleats as I went around, and that took care of any of that green showing through. Our gnome absolutely needs a hat, and this dish towel is the perfect shade of red and the texture cannot be beat. Grab one of these and then you are going to cut it down because of course we do not need it this big, so you are going to trim a little bit off of the end and off of the side. To attach the hat to the gnome, you are going to apply it to the back first, so you're going to use a little hot glue, apply it to one side, fold it over, apply it to the other side, then overlap the towel on top of itself, and then straight down the length of it so that you can create like a faux seam. Now, Dollar Tree does sell some wood beads, but my favorite option for a nose are these half beads. I get them on Amazon, so with a little hot glue, I just pop his nose right there, slightly underneath his hat. Once I have that in place, then I can go in and secure the front part of his hat. Now you want to take some twine, and at the top of the cone, you want to wrap it around the towel a few times and then tie that off into a knot. And then you're going to do the same thing further up on the towel towards the end. You're going to take your twine, wrap it around a few times, tie it off into the knot, then cut that so you have a nice flat edge, add some hot glue, and then pop on a large white pom-pom. And oh my goodness, do you have the cutest little Santa gnome? This project, you're gonna need a mug. You may already have one, but if not, you can pick one up at Dollar Tree. You're also gonna need a larger foam ball and some caulking, which Dollar Tree does sell. Pop in that foam ball and then take your caulking where you have that gap between your mug and the foam ball. Don't worry if it's pretty, it won't even matter. Before you go further, this is a good time to go ahead and pop in a straw. So here I have a paper straw. I painted the tip of it red because I didn't have a red one. And go in with any sort of a solid object to help you get your hole to put your straw in. I like to secure mine down with just a little bit of hot glue to make sure it stays in place. Once you have your straw in, then you're gonna take like a silicone spatula. This is not one I use in my kitchen for baking. This is strictly for crafting, and you are gonna just smooth out that caulking, making sure you fill in that gap. Then go in with some more caulking, and you are just going to cover up your styrofoam. Now again, do not worry if it looks pretty or not. Just take that caulking all the way around. Then you'll go back in with your silicone spatula, and you're just gonna kind of swiftly whip it around, creating what looks like a whipped texture. And if you don't get like the little peaks that you see in whipped cream, then you can kind of just tap it in areas and you'll see that it kind of forms little peaks. So this is not rocket science. This, you can do whatever you want and make it whatever you want. But the final touch is to take these little tube confettis, I'm using just the red ones, sprinkling them on and then going back in with that spatula and just making sure that they are pushed into the caulking so that they stay in place. And then my faux hot chocolate is all done. It is absolutely cute and adorable. And how cute would this look on a tier tray? Absolutely love this. For this project, you want to start off with some round styrofoam pieces. Now the size that you need all is dependent upon the size of your bucket. Because I'm using a smaller bucket, I just need the smaller styrofoam pieces. I decided to go ahead and paint my bucket red. To begin with, you're going to put some tissue paper in the bottom to fill it up, and then you can just place your styrofoam balls right on top. Now you can just leave it here with a few of the balls. It slightly goes over, or if you want to be a little extra like I am, You can really fill it up, but if you're gonna do that, you're gonna need to go in with a little hot glue to make sure those balls stay in place, and you can build this as high as you want. The last thing that it needs is a little tag, and so I grabbed these from Dollar Tree and one of their chalk markers and just simply wrote snowballs, 5 cents, used a small clothespin and just attached it right onto the bucket itself. I think this is super adorable. Absolutely love this. And the black, white, and red I think just pops. Absolutely just too cute for words. For this next project, you are going to need one of the medium-sized styrofoam balls that comes in a 3-pack, as well as one of the large ones that comes in a 2-pack. You're simply going to hot glue them together. Now the hot glue will melt it just a little bit, which is perfect because you want to kind of flatten it out. I like to go in with just a little extra hot glue for that added reinforcement. If you can't tell, we are putting together a snowman, and for the snowman's nose, you're going to take a smaller clothespin. Go ahead and separate that, and you're just going to use 1/2 of it. I'm simply just using a pair of miter shears to trim it down, but if you have some heavy-duty scissors, that will work as well. I just happen to really love my miter shears. Once you're done with that, just paint it orange, set it aside, let it dry, and then move on to the next part. So here I have some yarn from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to get a total of 9 strands together, tie a knot at the top of it, and then divide it into 3 strands in each section. We're just going to braid it like a simple braid where you take the left over the center, then the right over the center. If you've never braided, that's all it is, and go all the way down. Once you get to the very end, then you can tie another knot to hold your braid in place. You're going to take your braided yarn, wrap it around the center of your snowman, creating a scarf, loop it through. Now here you can go ahead, as you can see, I'm taking some hot glue to hold it in place, and I tied another knot because I did trim some of that off. Now it's time to apply your nose. I like to use a little hot glue to hold that in place. And then I'm using some buttons. You can get these at Dollar Tree. Generally, they're in the front of the store, or you can also sometimes find them in the crafting section. Some buttons for the eyes and some buttons going down the front of the snowman. Now for the remainder of the braided yarn, we're going to create a little beanie by placing the knot in the center of the snowman's head, using some hot glue to hold it in place, and then just swirling it around. Only applying hot glue where you need it, kind of as needed. And then once you get to the very end, again, make sure that you use some hot glue then to hold that into place. I think he is so cute, but he needs a little friend, and Dollar Tree has these little wraps. All you need to do is trim off a little piece and then go ahead and cut it so it's open. Take that piece, wrap it around the neck of this snowman, then tie it off into a knot. You're going to do the exact same thing with a piece that goes around his head. So go ahead, trim it, then open it up, and then you're going to wrap it around the snowman's head. You're going to lay it around the front part of his head, but you're not going to hot glue it on the front. You're going to start by hot gluing it on the back. You're going to hot glue half of it and lay the fabric on it. Then you're going to hot glue the other half. Then you're going to take it up the length of it, create like that faux seam, and cut off any excess. Some twine around the top part of the head, wrap it around a few times, tie it off into a knot. If you want to get a little extra fancy, you can add some ribbon around the brim of the hat. I just thought that added the perfect extra touch. You can add your snowman's face and buttons. This time I just did a nose, no eyes, and a couple of buttons on his chest. And then to finish him off, I added some twine at the top of his hat, wrapped it around, tied it off, cut it so it was nice and blunt, then put a little pom-pom on the very tip of his hat. And then this snowman is all done, and I think they make the cutest little pair. This project, you're going to use one of Dollar Tree's cone styrofoam shapes, as well as one of these green ones. Again, I don't even know what you call this shape, but make sure you grab one of them, then hot glue the two together. After that, you're gonna use some yarn. Now here, I have some braided yarn. Of course, you can braid your own yarn if you want to, or just use some really fun chunky yarn that you love. You're gonna hot glue it at the bottom, and then you're just gonna start wrapping it up. Once you get to the very top, you're gonna take that top and you're gonna tuck it in and hot glue it so that it stays in place. After that, I thought it'd be really fun to have a little pop of red. So again, I started with just a little hot glue at the bottom, wrapped it all the way up, and then ended it with a little bit of hot glue. I did the same thing with just a cone all by itself, and then I have these packs of cones that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and I wanted a third smaller one, so I did that as well. And now I have 3 of the cutest little white and red Christmas trees, and I think they are darling. How simple and easy is this? If you enjoyed this video, here's another one for you to watch. Don't forget, check out the playlist in the description below. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!